Hi YouTube, welcome to my channel. I'm Gigi Alive. I usually do videos in reference to reselling and Poshmark, and I also try to talk about health issues that I might have with my lupus flaring and with plant-based dieting. But today I wanted to talk about colonoscopy that I just had recently, and I know my last video was about the colonoscopy prep, so I wanted to just like do a follow-up with that, like I promised y'all. So this is, it's called Pleniview, which is what I took. It comes in 3 packages of a powder that you mix in with water, and the first dose is less thick than the second dose. The second dose is a lot thicker because you're adding 2 pouches to 16 ounces of water, and it's really thick. It tastes similar. What I would describe this taste is it's similar to salt water. It's salty and it's kind of mucusy, so I don't want to say what it could. I mean, there's other things I could compare it to, but what helped me was I used a straw and I mixed it really, really, really good. But at the very bottom, if you put the straw at the bottom, sometimes you can get some chunks that are still there. So I tried to just kind of like make sure the straw was a little higher up than at the bottom, and then swallowed the last bit of it. But it is medication, and you have to just do it slowly. Doing 16 ounces of anything, because I've had the gastric sleeve, it's difficult for me. Even though my gastric sleeve was like almost 12 years ago. But it's still difficult for me to drink fast. So I had to sip it slowly. Sometimes I felt like I was going to throw up, especially on the second dose. So the first dose I took at 4 p.m., and then I had to wait 12 hours to take the second dose. The second dose was at 4 a.m. in the morning. So I had to wake up and had to take the second dose. What can help, and I need to find out for sure, but if I were to mix it with this kind of water, it might have been easier for me to swallow, or any kind of flavored water. They used to do it with the Crystal Light packets so that you have some kind of flavor, the ones that are like a Crystal Light powder. But what I do is I drink a little bit after I would have the first couple of sips of the Pleniview. I would have some other thing that I would drink, even if it would be some flavored water, or maybe just a little bit of like some broth or something to just help get that taste out of my mouth, because it's just horrible. So I just want to let y'all know, I have talked to some people who don't understand intermittent fasting. So basically, when you're doing the colonoscopy, you should really put yourself on an intermittent fast like a week before or during that first week. So you're prepared to not eat too much, or you're prepared to fast and get your stomach ready for what you're going to have to put in it, which is this Pleniview. And sometimes they also have another thing called Go Lightly that they might use besides the Pleniview. So there are other kind of substances, but the whole plan is to get you to get all this backed up stuff that's in your colon out of you. So the truth is, when you're doing the intermittent fasting, what does help is it helps get your body prepared to be able to fast. After the procedure is done, it's a good idea to start intermittent fasting, because you pretty much have a clearer stomach. So that's what I've been doing, the intermittent fasting. And what helps me is I drink this right here, this water. And because I can't take too much fizz, I actually have it open a little bit and let it sit for a while, so that way it's not too fizzy, it's kind of flat. But I like the watermelon water. This is just, I think, Walmart brand or H-E-B, I'm not sure, but it's just a no-name brand. It doesn't matter which kind you use. You can use Hint water, it's another one that I like to use. But that helps you with a little bit of the cravings that you might have during intermittent fasting. And so for me, that's what I'm trying to do to keep my stomach where it's not going to be bloated again and filled up with a lot of junk and crap like fried food, fast food. And of course, I'm still going to be eating, but I'm just on the intermittent fast. Now, we'll talk about intermittent fasting in another video, but I want to talk about the colonoscopy and what it was like. First off, people need to understand a colonoscopy is something that's done in the hospital. I have one of my friends who thought that it was actually supposed to be at a doctor's office. I'm like, no, I believe it has to be done only in a hospital. You are actually going to be going, now I had mine as an endoscopy and a colonoscopy done. And I did have some polyps that they had to remove. And they noticed diverticulosis, which I've always kind of known this. It's not like a surprise. But I have a colon that is twisted, and I have a hernia, so I was disappointed that they didn't find that, the tortured or twisted colon. But sometimes it moves around and it's very painful. It's like after I had my when they did my cancer and they removed my kidney, my partial removal of my kidney, they have a big scar from here to here. And I believe that because that wall has been broken, plus with a lot of other abdominal surgeries, I have adhesions and I have a lot of problems with my intestines moving around. I can actually feel it and have to massage it back into place. So it's like an open hernia type thing. But anyway, my colonoscopy went well. I loved it. They even played my favorite BTS music. I went in and I had my blanket, and they played music to get me relaxed. And I said, "Oh, I love BTS." And they played some music for me, and they give you some medicine if you have nausea. When I got there, even though I started this point of view at 4 a.m. and then at 4:45, I was finished drinking. It took me time to drink all of it down, the last dose. I did not start moving my bowels again until probably 6 o'clock. So 6 o'clock in the morning, and my procedure I had to be there at 7. So there was nothing left really, because the first dose I actually cleared myself out because I hadn't really eaten anything the day before. So I pretty much cleared myself out, and it was pretty clear. Like, when I say pretty clear, I mean when I went to poo, everyone poops, so I'm just saying, when you go poop, the idea is to have almost urine-looking stool, where there's really not stool. It's just like you're pooping out either like lemonade-looking liquid is going to come out, and that's kind of what it looked like. So when I had my second dose, it was the same thing, but it was like still coming out when I went to go for the procedure, but it was just like literally liquid, like lemonade looking. And then I was nauseated. So when I got there, I said, I'm really nauseated and I'm still having some leakage and stuff. And they said, okay, well, we're going to give you some medicine. So they gave me some Zofran, and that's to help with my nausea. And it does kind of relax you a little bit. So that was good. And my anesthesiologist was awesome. My nurse was awesome. Everyone at Methodist Hospital, Willowbrook, was awesome in the GI department. But so I did go in there, and they played my BTS. And then they sit you on your side. I was on my left side, and then they give you this bite. It's like a piece that goes into your mouth, and they put that in your mouth. And then the anesthesiologist will say, okay, I'm going to give you, they flush your IV, and they say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and give you something to relax. Go ahead and count. When they do that count, you just know you're not going to know anything until you wake up, like literally. So they started the count. They said count from, I don't remember what he said, 10 to 1 or whatever. And I was like 10, 9, and next thing I know, they were waking me up, and I was in the recovery room. So you literally don't have any pain or anything. It's not like stressful in the sense of pain. It's more stressful in the sense that you're concerned that anytime you go under, something could happen, you know. Look at Joan Rivers, and you know, you're getting propofol, which is what Michael Jackson had, but they're giving it to you with the anesthesiologist, with tons of people around. So you don't need to worry about them overdosing you or having any problem with that. But always you're going to have something in the back of your head thinking, you know, what if I don't survive this? Or what if they find there's cancer there? You know, that's the whole purpose of getting a colonoscopy, to find out if there's cancer. Oftentimes you'll have polyps. You might find out you have diverticulosis like I did. They might have other things they might find. But my point is, I don't want you to be afraid of getting the colonoscopy because it's not scary. The worst part is actually doing this. Doing the pre prep, the prep is the worst part. Like pre the colonoscopy is the worst part. Then after you have the colonoscopy, I did have stomach cramps. I did have gas. I did have a feeling of like a fullness, and that's probably because of the air. And then plus I had a lupus flare. I'm in a lupus flare now. Um, my ankles are huge. They're swollen. My joints get swollen really bad when I'm in a lupus flare. And I also get some swelling in my hands. Now they did take my rings and my bracelets and my necklace and stuff, so I just put my ring back on. But it's oh yeah, another thing, I lost a nail. When I woke up, I was like, one of my nails are missing. Luckily, it didn't hurt because I was in anesthesia. So they're going to take all the metal things, and you are going to be naked underneath a gown. So just be prepared. If you can leave your rings at home, that'd be a good idea. Luckily, my sister was watching them for me, but I mean, it's not a good place to just keep your rings, at the hospital. I would probably have just left them at my house. But anyway, so it's not like it's a bad thing to go through the colonoscopy. Afterwards, like I said, I was gassy, I was kind of bloated. But the best thing that you should do when you get ready to eat is don't eat fried food. I made the mistake of going Olive Garden and getting some fried shrimp. And I think that's why my stomach started cramping. But I did have some soup and salad too, and maybe that's why it's starting to move those fibrous foods through my stomach. So I think the best thing to do, maybe have like some chicken broth and start slow and stay on that path. The good news is once you're all cleaned out like that, sometimes you can lose, like I lost like 5 pounds. Like literally, I got on the scale, I was like, oh, I lost. And a lot of it I think is all that backed up crap that's inside of you. So anyway, that's why I'm trying to do the intermittent fasting now. And we will do another video about intermittent fasting, and drinking water can help when you have the cravings. Also broth. I like V8 juice. If I feel like I really need to drink something, I will drink some V8 juice because it gives you a little bit of some vegetables. Or just even if you can do some vegetables and blend it, that's great too. So anyway, just wanted to give you all that heads up. Remember, if you're going to do Point of View, it's a good idea to put a straw in and sip it slowly and have something to like sip on after you drink a little bit of it, like some broth or maybe some water. So it is a hospital procedure. It is a good procedure to get every 5 years, I believe, after 45. And it is looking for cancer. And the colonoscopy, if you've ever had colon cancer in your family, is very important to get done. And I do have it in my family. And because I have lupus, I have a lot of inflammation in my body. And I've already had cancer before. So it's always a good idea to make sure that you're keeping up with all the tests that can be preventative for cancers. And colonoscopy is one of those. So remember what I said. And if you like this video, if it helped you in any way, prepare for your colonoscopy and prepare to get ready to do your intermittent fasting. Please give me a thumbs up. And please share my video if you think it can help someone else. And subscribe to my channel if you're interested in reselling or interested in Poshmark. I'm going to do a video about how to do Poshmark, the ins and outs of Poshmark, and I'll be doing more videos like that coming up soon. But I just want to give y'all a heads up on what's going on with my health. And share and like and subscribe. And don't forget to get your colonoscopy. Take care. Bye.